Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, unraveling the mysteries of our shared human experience. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of a most pivotal era, one that would transform the fabric of our world and forever alter the course of history, the Industrial Revolution. As we prepare to delve into this transformative period, let us first set the stage, for it is in the shadows of the past that we find the seeds of this revolution. The Industrial Revolution, a term coined by historians to describe the profound shift from manual labor to machine-based manufacturing, was not an event that erupted suddenly, like a volcano bursting forth from the earth. Rather, it was the culmination of centuries of human ingenuity, curiosity, and perseverance. Our tale begins in the late medieval period, around the 14th century, in the workshops and mills of Europe, where craftsmen and inventors toiled, driven by an insatiable desire to improve their lot and that of their communities. One such pioneer was Richard Arkwright, who in 1769 patented the water frame, a machine that enabled mass production of textiles. However, the roots of this innovation stretch back further, to the invention of the spinning jenny by James Hargreaves in 1764, which allowed for the simultaneous spinning of multiple spindles of yarn. As we wander through the rolling hills and bustling towns of 18th century England, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex interplay between technological innovation, economic necessity, and societal change. The landscape of England, with its coal mines, canals, and burgeoning towns, becomes a tapestry woven from threads of human endeavor, each strand representing a choice, an experiment, or a discovery that collectively propel us towards the dawn of a new era. The year 1712 marks a significant milestone in this narrative, as it was then that Thomas Newcomen invented the first practical steam engine, which allowed for more efficient pumping of water from mines, thereby increasing coal production and paving the way for the widespread adoption of steam power in industry. This innovation, in turn, was built upon by James Watt, who, in 1769, patented an improved version of the steam engine, which would go on to revolutionize manufacturing and transportation. Another key figure in this drama is Abraham Darby, a Quaker ironmaster from Coalbrookdale, who in 1709 successfully smelted iron using coal instead of charcoal. This breakthrough, which reduced production costs and increased the availability of iron, had far-reaching consequences for the development of machinery and infrastructure. The construction of the first iron bridge over the River Severn in 1751, for example, facilitated the transportation of goods and people, further accelerating the pace of industrialization. As we explore these early stirrings of industrialization, we find ourselves in the midst of a dynamic interplay between inventors, entrepreneurs, and workers. The year 1760 looms before us like a beacon, marking the beginning of a new era in human history. As the precursors are in place, the stage is set, and the actors are poised to play their parts. Join me next, dear listeners, as we step into the heart of the Industrial Revolution, where the machinery of progress roars to life, and humanity embarks on a journey that will forever change the face of our world. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we continue our journey through the transformative era of the Industrial Revolution. It is the late 18th century, and the air is electric with innovation, as inventors, entrepreneurs, and workers come together to harness the power of steam, iron, and coal. One of the most significant figures of this era is Samuel Slater, often referred to as the father of American industry. In 1790, Slater arrived in America, bringing with him the secrets of textile manufacturing from England. He established the first successful cotton mill in Rhode Island, using the principles of Richard Arkwright's water frame and James Watt's steam engine. This marked the beginning of a new era in American industry, as the country began to shift from an agrarian economy to one driven by manufacturing. As we explore the lives of innovators like Slater, we find ourselves in the midst of a dynamic interplay between technology, economics, and society. The construction of canals, roads, and railways facilitated the transportation of goods and people, further accelerating the pace of industrialization. The year 1801 marks a significant milestone in this narrative, as it was then that Richard Trevithick built the first steam-powered locomotive, which hauled a train of cars along a track in Merthyr Tydfil, Wales. The impact of industrialization on the social and economic fabric of society was profound. As factories and mills sprouted up across the landscape, people flocked from rural areas to urban centers in search of work. The growth of cities like Manchester, Birmingham, and Liverpool created new opportunities for trade, commerce, and innovation. However, it also led to the exploitation of workers who toiled in harsh conditions for long hours and low wages. Despite these challenges, the Industrial Revolution marked a period of unprecedented growth and transformation. The introduction of new machines and manufacturing techniques enabled mass production, which in turn led to lower prices and increased access to goods. The standard of living began to rise, as people enjoyed greater comforts and amenities than ever before. As we marvel at the achievements of this era, we are reminded of the power of human ingenuity and perseverance. The Industrial Revolution was not just a series of technological innovations, it was a fundamental shift in the way people lived, worked, and interacted with one another. It laid the foundations for the modern world, with all its complexities and challenges. The machinery of progress continues to roar forward, driven by the creativity, innovation, and hard work of individuals from all walks of life. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, as we conclude our journey through the transformative era of the Industrial Revolution. The air is thick with the smoke of factories, and the sounds of machinery still echo through the cities. But the winds of change are blowing once more. As the revolution reaches its maturity, new challenges emerge, and the social, economic, and environmental consequences of industrialization become increasingly evident. One of the most significant consequences of the Industrial Revolution was the growth of urban centers. Cities like Manchester, Birmingham, and Liverpool, which had sprouted up during the early days of industrialization, continued to expand, becoming hubs of commerce, trade, and innovation. However, this growth also led to overcrowding, poverty, and poor living conditions for many workers. The streets were narrow and dirty, with inadequate sanitation and housing, leading to the spread of diseases like cholera and typhoid. As the revolution progressed, new technologies emerged, which further transformed the industrial landscape. The introduction of electricity, for example, enabled the widespread use of electric motors, which replaced steam engines in many factories. This led to greater efficiency and productivity, but also created new challenges, such as the need for more skilled workers and the increased demand for energy. The late 19th and early 20th centuries also saw the rise of new industrial powers, such as the United States and Germany, which challenged the dominance of Britain and other European nations. The growth of global trade and competition led to increased tensions between nations, ultimately contributing to the outbreak of World War I. As we reflect on the legacy of the Industrial Revolution, we are reminded of its profound impact on our world today. The revolution laid the foundations for modern capitalism, with all its complexities and challenges. It created new opportunities for economic growth and development, but also led to environmental degradation, social inequality, and conflict. In the words of Karl Marx, the Industrial Revolution has created a new class of industrial workers who are exploited by the capitalist system. This statement highlights the ongoing struggle between labor and capital, which remains a pressing issue in our world today. The Industrial Revolution may have slowed its pace, but its consequences continue to shape our lives, from the clothes we wear to the air we breathe. As we conclude our journey through the Industrial Revolution, we are left with a profound appreciation for the power of human ingenuity and perseverance. We have seen how individuals from all walks of life came together to harness the power of steam, iron, and coal, transforming the face of our world forever. And yet, we are also reminded of the importance of responsible innovation, which balances progress with social and environmental sustainability. The Industrial Revolution may be a chapter in our past, but its legacy continues to shape our present and future. As we look to the challenges of the 21st century, from climate change to economic inequality, we would do well to remember the lessons of the Industrial Revolution and strive for a more just, equitable, and sustainable world for all. Thank you for joining me on this journey through history with Herodotus. Until next time, farewell. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.